Kicker Chris Boswell has it ready to go, and we are underway from Pittsburgh. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Looking to throw right away is Watson. Open man here, Schwartz, complete.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Throwing again on second down. Watson, his throw incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Back to throw, Watson. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
Again, it's Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Well, these two teams met in Cleveland earlier in the year with the Browns coming out on top. So if they can win here in Pittsburgh, they'll be able to claim the season sweep. Second and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Watson's throw taken in by Cooper here. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 42. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there, because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
Watson looks to throw again. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team, because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. But how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Touchdown, Browns. Amari Cooper with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, Great film watching and creating a game plan to start this off, not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You can have a lot to handle in this one.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game. Kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone.
And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs.
At their own 12-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
They'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you used the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now on 2nd and 13.
Pickett.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the challenge we're seeing here in this game early? Man coverage against some fleet receivers. That time, the defense won.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Here's Pickett.
And Owen coughed it up. And this is picked up by the Browns. Taking it right down Broadway. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And it's now 14-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And, partner, I'm going to make a quick pivot here and ask you to play general manager. It's well documented they're last in the league in offense, number 32. What changes might they make?
And this where you have to be almost like a chess master as a general manager, because you have a few things at your disposal that you need to use. Obviously the draft, free agency, maybe you can make some trades, but also look at your practice squad. Have you been grooming players to promote and give them an opportunity to play as well? That way you start to supplement as well as replace guys that need it.
And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
From the gun, here's Pickett. They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all three phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick six.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
To the air on first down with Pickett. Going for Boykin, but it is intercepted.
John Johnson with the INT. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. After the interception, here's Watson.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season.
And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by York is up and good.
And that makes the score 28-0.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Pickett, he'll look to throw it. He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Pickett to his tight end, Freiermuth, for the Steeler first.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
1st and 10, here's Pickett.
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Boy, this defense is circling early. A pick 6 there, and they are off to the races here this first quarter.
And, partner, when you get off to a first quarter lead like this, it really frees you up defensively to take some chances, really apply some heat. And that was just a tremendous play to pick that ball off and bring it back for a score.
So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play.
Now this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early, but that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Pickett back to throw.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
And I don't quite know what's happening here. It's a first down, but the field goal team is out onto the field.
York able to send this one through,
and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, Charles, I think you'd have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, Bean, the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Off the play fake, here's Pickett.
And his throw here's incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Going for it on fourth down. Here's Pickett.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Troy Apke. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown.
The York on now for the extra point.
And the route is on here in this first half.
Makes the score Browns 45, Steelers nothing.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and if finally we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
I think what we just saw there with that fumble return is the increased emphasis on taking the ball away from another team. And no one wants to just fall on in football anymore, do they? They want to take it and try and score themselves.
But when you fall 1 yard short of getting in the end zone as a former defender, you know it hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
Not only does it hurt, the laughter in film is going to be intense. You are going to get jumped on for not making it all the way to the end zone.
So more of the same here, CD. Not a touchdown, but 3 more points added on to their lead.
Yeah, it's been a total domination here in this first half. Offensively, defensively, even the special teams have chipped in as he connects on the field goal. It may be a little bit premature, but I think the only thing they're worried about dominating now, the post-game meal.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And again, it's Chubb. And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 34. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
To throw is Watson. And his throw is incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away.
And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line.
At their own 13-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And now we've got a third down and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Trying with Pickett here on third down. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he will have a Steelers first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
Jordan Elliott breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again.
Pickett's throw complete there to Johnson.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down.
Pickett will look to throw it here. That's swung out wide to Harris. He's going to have the first down and then some.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Finding Harris on back-to-back plays.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Pickett.
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Touchdown!
George Pickens
From 13 yards out.
And the Steelers are on the board here in the final minute of the first half.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. The Browns drive about to get started. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
The first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Sione Takitaki able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. Now, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Here's Johnson with a reception.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Pickett to throw on first down.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Harris. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
On the option, Pickett's going to run with it.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Pickens on the slant. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Looking to throw, Pickett. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Back to throw, Pickett.
Flushed out right. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Troy Apke.
And the Browns are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The Browns drive about to get started. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Sometimes that's the danger of putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You could wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box, and there's nowhere to run the football.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And 3rd and 8 now.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
As this offense takes the field again, CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Myles Garrett showing that athleticism as he gets in to make the play.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the 3rd quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guy's stopping the run.
And now here's another interception.
Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that...
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And it's picked up by the Steelers. The 40. 20, 10, and they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
On 2nd and goal, Pickett. And my goodness, another interception.
And the Browns are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. Oh, wide open, complete. A big play there on the catch and run, and even 80 yards.
Well, I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long. Go get it, big man.
And if you're wondering how fast he was going, next-gen stats clocked him at close to 21 miles an hour. York able to send this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, defense has really struggled.
He was covered by Denzel Ward.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's the backup Mayfield.
He finds Pickens over the middle, finding space at the 40. Down the sideline he goes.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A big play there on the catch and run. 51 yards. From up here in the booth, looked like he's starting to make his cut into the middle of the field right as that ball was being released. That's how you draw it up.
Exactly how you draw it up, but you don't often get that result because that means absolute confidence from both the receiver and the quarterback to know both will be in the spot they're supposed to be.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
On 2nd and 10, Mayfield. That is caught at the 7. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That'll put him right at 99 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Myles Garrett able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
They'll try again now on 2nd and goal, this time from a bit closer. They'll try and run the option left side. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw a defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with a football. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and this Browns defense stands tall. The Browns drive about to get started. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Following the interception, Mayfield. Oh, and this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now Mayfield on 4th down. Targeting Johnson on the comeback route, and this is caught. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Now, no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Mayfield with it once more. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a 1st after a gain of about 9.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there. Now it's 3rd down and inches.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. To throw is Watson. He's got a man, complete, past the 20. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided.
Well, Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns. York able to send this one through,
and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. And he's able to knock that one away.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick him off for the 2nd time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly. But they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
York able to send this one through,
and that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Mayfield. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Troy Apke.
And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Oh, my goodness, CD. I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball. But for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
York able to send this one through,
and that will extend their lead even further. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. It's brought in by Harris. And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mayfield able to find Higgins. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
I guess at this point, Charles, heck, why not take some shots?
I would agree with that totally, because a big play can't hurt at all. Heck, you might get a pass interference call out of it. Somehow the ball might get tipped up and you come down with it.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker.
And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. A give running right is Chubb. And able to work his way down to the 16.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.